Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a hot take on, I guess, more censorship. I mean, there's tons of censorship happening. But first, something to get out of the way. Still a lot of QAnon guys. They're hanging on. Listen, I understand. I don't agree with your QAnon beliefs. I understand why you want to cling to them. Many of you had said the riot was a smokescreen so that special forces could steal Nancy Pelosi's laptop. I'll tell you two things about that. Number one, hackers don't need to steal physical hardware to get at the laptop. They could get everything on that laptop. The NSA certainly could. And the guys that Trump would have access to if he actually was in the middle of fighting this, they would have everything on that laptop in a matter of hours. Less than, even. There's no reason to steal it. It was stolen by one of the Capitol Hill rioters. And now she's being accused, this woman, of trying to sell it to the Russians. Now, I don't know if that part of it's true, because I'll say this: the feds are notorious for lying. They have lied before. They certainly set up a bunch of people in the Bush years, mostly people who are borderline mental patients and just stupid idiots who thought they were involved in something, as opposed to actually seeking out actual dangerous criminals. See, it's hard to find those guys. Those guys are careful. People who are actual criminals, they're careful. They're careful of cops. They look for cops all the time. They have guys on the inside to give them a little heads up. But the upside to that is they generally are just about their money. They're not necessarily about doing things political. Going after these knuckleheads and setting them up, I think, I question the legality of it. And I feel that the feds waste a lot of time on people they know are incapable of doing anything without massive amounts of assistance. So, that all being said, and the feds are very image conscious, this could be a setup to justify the crackdown on Trump supporters. But there's no evidence of that either way. And I'll tell you what it's not. It's not a bunch of special forces guy going in to steal Nancy Pelosi's laptop. You got to give it up. We have bigger fish to fry. Like this. The FBI is vetting 25,000 National Guard troops to prevent an insider attack, according to them anyway. This is dystopian, nightmarish, Orwellian, any adverb along those lines. Because essentially, how do you even vet these guys? What are they even vetting for? Do you plan on attacking the president? Yes. I mean, no. That you don't catch him that way. Anybody with half a brain is just going to lie their way through the interview. The reason they're doing it is they're looking for people who are hardcore Trump supporters to pick on him. And there's going to be 2 or 3 guys that will go, F you, Fed. F you, I love Trump, and there's nothing you can do about it. And then they'll say, oh yeah, and then they'll persecute the guy. This is not something the FBI should be doing. They shouldn't be vetting U.S. troops. That's not their job. They should be on top of any potential threat to the president or the Capitol, but they're not. They're not, obviously. If they're vetting the troops, they're not on top of anything, because the troops are the last group of people you should be looking at. And as someone on Twitter keeps reposting over and over again, if you need 25,000 troops to guard you behind a giant secret wall during an inauguration, are you really all that legitimate? I don't know. It was the most secure election ever. Honk, honk, wink, wink. Yeah, this is terrible. But it gets worse. Oregon is proposing a new bill that would essentially undermine private property rights to a large degree. And I'll just read you the last sentence of it. Take any other action, including through the seizure or use or possession of any real personal property that may be necessary for the management of resources following an emergency. You may remember that my tyrant governor here in New Jersey, Phil Murphy, has renewed his emergency powers every 30 days like clockwork. And there seems to be no sign of him ever stopping. He will probably have those emergency powers until we kick him out of office. God willing, in this November. Yeah, do not vote for Murphy, Pineys. But if he had something like this, he could seize all your property. Oh, but wait, he's already done that. He is in a lawsuit with a gym called Atlas Gym, and Atlas Gym had their money seized. They seized their bank account, about $165,000. They're using that to fight the state in court, and now the state has seized their money. Another huge overreach, which I hope and pray the guys from Attilas destroy these guys in court. I hope their lawyers never give up. They have a GoFundMe page. I'm sure you can find it. But this, Oregon, this is like full-blown communism at this point. Well, we may need to seize and reapportion your property in an emergency. Just an emergency. Oh, what do you call the virus? Oh, yeah, that's an emergency. Yeah, you're right. Oh, we're going to have to seize some of your property. Sorry. Yeah. Once they get this power, then the mask really falls away. Then it's like, well, you don't have anything to say or do. The law says we can seize your property. Get out of here. Get out of your house. Give us your things. Get out. That's where it's headed. And it gets worse. Yep. Totally gets worse. Wait a minute. Do I have the right link? Oh, that's my new MeWe page. I'm on MeWe now, by the way. CNN demand cable companies blacklist OAN and Newsmax. Yeah, it's not enough that CNN totally tanks as a news organization, in my opinion. But now that their ratings are in a toilet and they're on the verge of being sold, they are dying and squealing, oh, please ban all our competition. They're even complaining about the YouTube guys that, outperform them every single day. It's because they suck, in my view. And not only do they suck, they've lost all their credibility. Maybe they should report news and be credible instead of being not credible. That would be my opinion. But it hasn't stopped YouTube from booting a few other YouTubers, I understand. It's getting bad. It's getting really, really bad. Stop giving these people your money. Do not give CNN your money. If you have cable and you flip it on, catch a commercial break, pick a sponsor and write them an email and say, I'm boycotting you. Just pick one to boycott. I'm boycotting you until you stop sponsoring CNN. You got to start doing this. It's the only way. You got to choke the beast. And it's all about money. It's all about money. These companies start losing money, they will beg you, please come back. Please come back and watch us. We're so sorry we tried to put you in re-education camps, Trump supporters. We're so sorry about talking to you like you're children who need to be deprogrammed, like you're monsters, like you're less than human. You have to start hurting these people through their money. Money, not through violence. Don't commit acts of violence. You're just going to embolden them and strengthen their position. You must keep the moral high ground. But it's easy not to give them your money. It's easy to write their sponsors and go, I don't like what CNN says. I won't support you until you stop supporting them. Simple as that. And finally, a little positive news. Wyoming Carbon County Republican Party has passed a resolution to censure Liz Cheney in a unanimous vote. So, at least one part of the country is still America. Perhaps I can flee to Wyoming in the coming years. Joan, would you like to go to Wyoming? It's pretty empty. Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk later. Yeah. So it's not good. It's not looking good right now. But again, don't despair. Don't get angry. You just gotta think rationally. Oh, and one final thing that I think you should join me in. There's a Twitter thread going around. I know I'm still on Twitter, but I'm trying to get off. I really am. I'm selling books. It's really hard. But now that Gab's up and running, and Gab was very slow for a few days, but now it seems to be back. I should be able to get off. But there is a boycott to boycott the inauguration on Wednesday from noon to 1 p.m. I guess that's when Biden's going to be sworn in. So stay off of Facebook, stay off of all the social media platforms, and don't watch it on TV. Give them the lowest ratings possible. Give an embarrassing. We want an embarrassingly low ratings. We want ratings that are just shockingly low. Like literally 10,000 people watched the inauguration. That's how low we want it. We want it like below 10,000 people. It would be amazing if we could get that low. Just a shockingly low number. Such a low number they have to make up a higher number just to make Biden look even mildly decent. So join me in that boycott. Just don't look. Just don't look. I'm already there. There's also another boycott I heard about, to boycott Facebook at least until Wednesday. So I've done that just because I've been looking for an excuse to avoid Facebook. So I'm boycotting Facebook. I did have to look at a post today. Somebody from my college days sent me a post. I hadn't sent me a post in years. I had to go check it out. And of course, then it turns out to be political, and I was sorry I even clicked on it. But man, you just gotta choke the beast. These people thrive on money. Without their money, they fall to pieces real quick. Without the ratings on television and without the clicks on the internet, they cannot survive. Once their money starts disappearing, they will back off. They have to if they want to save their business. Now, they may not do it right away because they do have a huge war chest, but let them flounder and suffer then. Try to deny them your money. Make a conscious decision. A lot of people are talking about de-Googling their computers too. I haven't quite gotten there yet. I'm still using Chrome. But I have stopped using the Google search engine at least, and trying to get out of it. I'm trying to get out of Silicon Valley, essentially. It's going to be hard. It's going to take me a while because I'm on the internet all the time. But some of you out there, follow me on Gab. I'm still tweeting on Gab. It's hard for me to tweet in a day because it's so slow and there's not a good app yet. But I'm still there. It's not as good as Twitter yet, but it's getting there. Same thing with BitChute and Rumble. Watch my shows there. I mean, there's no commercials on BitChute, just so you know. So that's one. I mean, again, it's a little slower, a little harder to find the videos, but something to think about. Choke the beast. That is all. See you next time.